Silence in the banquet hall was deafening. All eyes were on Daniel Matthews as his ex-wife Vanessa's cruel words hung in the air. "Everyone should know what kind of father he really is," she had announced to their former classmates, her voice dripping with venom. Just when Daniel thought he would drown in humiliation, a familiar voice cut through the tension. "Honey, sorry I'm late." It was Emma Carson, his boss, striding confidently toward him with a warm smile that promised everything would be okay. No one at the reunion could have predicted what would happen next. If you're enjoying this story so far, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more emotional and inspiring content that will touch your heart. Your support means the world to us. Daniel had been dreading the 10-year high school reunion for months. At 38, his life hadn't followed the trajectory he'd once imagined. While most of his classmates were posting vacation photos from exotic locations and celebrating career milestones, Daniel was working overtime at Carson Architectural Design and raising 8-year-old Lily on his own. The invitation had sat on his refrigerator for weeks, pinned beneath a colorful magnet shaped like a butterfly that Lily had made in art class. "Daddy, are you going to your party?" Lily had asked one evening as Daniel prepared dinner, her small finger pointing to the gold-embossed invitation. Daniel stirred the pasta sauce and sighed. "I don't know, sweetie. Daddy has a lot of work, and Mrs. Rodriguez can't always babysit." "But you never go anywhere fun," Lily observed with the innocent wisdom only children possess. "Emma says everyone needs fun sometimes." Daniel smiled at the mention of his boss. Emma Carson had been unexpectedly understanding when he joined her firm 3 years ago, fresh from a divorce that had left him with full custody of Lily and a mountain of debt that Vanessa had conveniently forgotten to mention before leaving them for her personal trainer. Emma had offered flexible hours and even allowed Lily to come to the office on days when childcare fell through. "Emma is right about that," Daniel admitted, tousling Lily's dark curls. "Maybe I should go." The morning of the reunion arrived with an unseasonably warm September sun. Daniel stood before his closet, considering his limited options. He settled on a navy suit he used for client meetings, hoping it would convey success without trying too hard. As he knotted his tie, his phone chimed with a text from Emma. "Good luck tonight. Remember, you have nothing to prove to anyone. You're building masterpieces, both at work and at home with Lily." Daniel smiled, grateful for Emma's support. At 35, she had built her architectural firm from nothing, earning respect in a male-dominated industry through sheer talent and determination. In the 3 years he'd worked for her, she'd become more than a boss. She was a friend, sometimes his only adult confidant in the lonely world of single parenthood. Mrs. Rodriguez arrived at 6, armed with Lily's favorite bedtime stories and a sympathetic smile for Daniel. "You look very handsome, Mr. Matthews," the older woman said kindly. "Go, enjoy yourself. Lily and I will have a wonderful time." Daniel's stomach churned with anxiety as he pulled into the hotel parking lot. Through the windows, he could see his former classmates mingling, laughing, and drinking. He gripped the steering wheel tightly, considering turning around and going home to watch movies with Lily instead. But something, perhaps Emma's encouraging words, pushed him to step out of the car. The reunion was exactly as he had feared. Former football stars bragged about their luxury cars. Cheerleaders, still impossibly beautiful, flashed diamond rings and showed photos of perfect children. Daniel found himself at the bar, nursing a single glass of whiskey, making small talk with people who clearly didn't remember him. And then Vanessa arrived. She entered like a queen, her blonde hair cascading down her back, her dress clearly designer. On her arm was Richard, the personal trainer she had left Daniel for, now her husband of 2 years. Daniel tried to make himself invisible, but the room wasn't large enough to hide from his past. "Daniel," Vanessa's voice cut through the crowd as she spotted him. "I thought you wouldn't show up." Daniel forced a smile. "Vanessa. You look well." "Can't say the same for you," she replied, eyeing his suit with disdain. "Still working for that woman architect?" What was her name? Emma something? Carson. Emma Carson. And yes, I'm still there, Daniel said, his voice tighter than he intended. The firm is doing very well. Vanessa laughed, the sound grating against his ears. Well, I suppose someone has to design the strip malls. Daniel bit back a retort. Carson Architectural Design specialized in sustainable community buildings and had recently won a prestigious award for a children's hospital, but he refused to give Vanessa the satisfaction of defending himself. How's Lily? Vanessa asked, her tone making it clear she was asking out of obligation rather than interest. She's wonderful, Daniel replied, his voice softening at the thought of his daughter. She's in 3rd grade now. Top of her class in math. Good for her, Vanessa said dismissively before turning to greet a former friend with exaggerated enthusiasm. Daniel retreated to a quiet corner, wishing he had listened to his instincts and stayed home. He was scrolling through photos of Lily on his phone when he heard Vanessa's voice again, louder this time, addressing the entire room. I'd like to propose a toast, she announced, champagne flute raised high. To reconnections and revelations. The crowd quieted, turning toward her. Daniel's chest tightened with apprehension. You know, Vanessa continued, her eyes finding Daniel in the crowd, reunions are all about honesty, aren't they? About seeing who people really became versus who we thought they would be. Daniel felt the blood drain from his face as Vanessa's predatory gaze fixed on him. Take my ex-husband Daniel over there, she gestured toward him, causing heads to turn. In high school, he was going to be a great architect, designing skyscrapers and monuments. Now he works for a woman, drawing up plans for strip malls, while I pay most of his bills. The room grew uncomfortably silent. It was a blatant lie, Daniel had never taken a penny from Vanessa since their divorce, but the seed of doubt had been planted in everyone's minds. And everyone should know what kind of father he really is, Vanessa continued, her voice dripping with mock concern. The kind who... Honey, sorry I'm late. The voice that interrupted Vanessa was confident and warm. Daniel turned to see Emma Carson striding through the entrance, stunning in a simple black dress, her auburn hair swept up elegantly. She walked directly to Daniel and slipped her arm through his with casual intimacy. Traffic was terrible, Emma said, loud enough for nearby guests to hear before turning to Vanessa with a pleasant smile. You must be Vanessa. Daniel's mentioned you. Vanessa's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. And you are? Emma Carson, she replied, extending her hand. Daniel's partner. Both in business and in life, for the past year now. Daniel stared at Emma in shock, but she squeezed his arm gently, a silent request to play along. I'm sorry we haven't met before, Emma continued smoothly. I've been so busy with our latest project. You may have heard about the Carson Matthews design for the new Performing Arts Center downtown. Daniel's vision was instrumental in winning that bid. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. The Performing Arts Center was a prestigious project that had been featured in the local news. Lily talks about you sometimes, Emma said to Vanessa, her tone friendly but with an undercurrent of steel. She's such an amazing child. Daniel's doing an incredible job raising her. Vanessa's face flushed with anger and embarrassment. I wasn't aware. Oh, we've kept it quiet, Emma said with a conspiratorial smile to the onlookers. Office romance and all that. But when Daniel mentioned this reunion, I thought it was time to make an appearance. She turned to Daniel with such genuine warmth that for a moment, he almost believed their relationship was real. Shall we get some champagne, darling? As Emma led him away from a sputtering Vanessa, Daniel leaned close to whisper, What are you doing here? Saving you from public humiliation, Emma replied under her breath, her smile never faltering for the benefit of watching eyes. Mrs. Rodriguez called me when Lily had a nightmare. She's fine now, but she was asking for you. I was coming to let you know when I overheard Queen Bee holding court at your expense. Daniel felt a rush of gratitude so intense it almost brought tears to his eyes. Thank you, he whispered. But you didn't have to pretend. Oh, but I did, Emma said with a wink. Nothing shuts down a bully like seeing their victim happy and successful. Now, let's make this convincing, shall we? For the next hour, Emma played the role of devoted partner perfectly. She laughed at Daniel's jokes, kept her hand on his arm, and seamlessly filled in the gaps in his career story with impressive projects he had actually worked on but would never have bragged about himself. Former classmates who had barely acknowledged Daniel earlier now approached to congratulate him on his success and relationship. When Vanessa made a point of leaving early, casting a venomous glance in their direction, Emma raised her glass in a subtle toast that only Daniel noticed. Once Vanessa was gone, Emma's shoulders relaxed slightly. Mission accomplished, she said quietly. We can leave whenever you want.